Well, in honour of the Frostpunk 2 gameplay trailer that has recently been revealed, I decided to make this video to discuss my theories on the second game while also giving a quick overview of Frostpunk 1 for those who have not played it. Frostpunk is a steampunk city building and survival game developed and published by 11-bit Studios, was released in April of 2018 and takes place in an alternative timeline late into the 1800s. In this timeline, the world is being gripped by an ice age. In the game, the player takes on the role of the leader of a group of survivors who must establish and manage one of the last cities on Earth, trying to survive in extreme cold conditions. The players must make extremely difficult decisions to ensure the city's survival, and the main mantra of the first game was this: the city must survive. With the temperatures dropping during gameplay, the players need to manage resources, heat, and the well-being of their citizens, while also needing to address social issues, enact laws, and balancing the needs of the population with the available resources at hand. The game introduces challenging scenarios, two of which I'm showing here, ethical dilemmas mixed in with the constant struggle for resources, making it a unique and emotionally impactful experience that really makes you question your morals while playing. In this quick time lapse here at the end of the base scenario, I might have crossed the line, but I mainly only did it because I was gunning for 2 Steam achievements that are not easy to get, but I still consider it a very worthwhile achievement because, well, I mean, hell, nobody died, and that is not easy to do in this game, especially not when you start moving up to the harder difficulties. Now this here, I personally hated this scenario the most. It is called the Fall of Winterhome, or as the community dubs it, Winter Hell. It is a little bit different compared to how a standard Frostpunk playthrough would go through. It's kind of like building a city in reverse. You're watching yourself get smaller and smaller and smaller. The generator has failed, and the main goal is to try to save as many people as you can. They are doing this via, they have found a dreadnought that you are trying to repair and get working, and then get as many people onto it to try to find a new place to live out there. It's somewhere in the waste. We never really got an answer to what happened to these guys. I'm hoping that is something the second game might address, because as much as I hated the scenario, it was really one of my most fun scenarios to play, especially for the lore implications. So I just wanted to show off these memes that I seen in the Discord last night. One of the community managers has a great sense of humour. You know, you fire at him with a meme, he fires back with a meme. It's really good to see. But I'm really just going to be quiet here for a few moments and let the Frostpunk 2 trailer play in its entirety.
Stuart. Honourable Stuart.
Stuart! Stuart?
Oh, mighty Stuart. Do you hear us, Stuart?
Do you hear us?
Stuart, are you listening? Stuart? The great storm wiped the world clean.
Let's take it back.
But how?
The steward'll choose our path.
Stuart, build us a better home.
A home for everyone! Stuart, we still lack so many things.
People are starving.
More people, more mouths to feed.
They treat us like animals, left to suffocate. We need a place to work.
Who else will feed our families?
Stuart, his squalor will kill her.
Where are the homes you've promised?
Can we all receive equal rations?
Hospitals are not a place for experiments. Free education for our children.
Secure and stable growth.
City for the citizens!
Stuart, hear your people!
We want a say in how we run the city.
The time of tyranny has ended.
Our delegates will make sure of that.
Let them vote.
Yes, vote.
Stuart,
Do
The city must not...
Oh my god, every time I watch that I get hit with so many happy feelings knowing how close we are to the second game. But the first thing I need to ask is, did anyone else notice this? Or maybe think this? Here, look, I'll show it again.
Honourable Stewart.
Stewart! Stewart?
Oh, mighty Stewart. Do you hear us, Stewart?
Do you hear us?
Stewart, are you listening?
Sorry, I really couldn't resist. Now, the first thing I do really want to point out, because some people might have missed it, is how much faster the days are going now. Literally, have a look at, as they're building the districts bottom right, to the top left at that day counter. It is just flying through at normal speed. So the first thing I'm going to go into is the bottom of the user interface. And I mean, how great does the UI look? Maybe it could do with a dark mode version, because white on white doesn't look good. But cast your eye to the central ball in the center. Don't know what that does, but then you've got the symbols arrayed out to the left and right of them. Some of the symbols, well, one of them in particular, you do see for the technocrats a little bit later when you have the decision that comes to play. So I'm thinking these symbols might actually represent the different factions that arise in the city. That would definitely play into the lot more politics vibe we get coming out of the trailer. But then you also notice the fist marks next to each symbol. Does that maybe show the dissent that they are starting to cause and raise in the city? Who knows? Maybe you can give me your idea in the comments. Alright, well now I'm going to look at the top part of the UI. I'm going to start from the top left and I'm going to start at the very top and work my way across. Now I think that first symbol, in this being 392, might actually be currency. Makes sense with a city of this size that people might actually want to get paid now, or who knows, maybe you can bribe people in the Senate. The second number I think is actually workable population. It's definitely not overall population, because you can see that number on the very right next to what I'm assuming is the city's name. Here they've just named it the city. Moving on past that, I believe the tiny little symbol looks black, looks smudgy. They've, put a lot of info in the previous marketing saying that oil is now a thing, so I'm pretty confident in assuming that is oil, followed by food resources. The house symbol, I'm a little bit unsure of, but I think that might actually be number of available houses. The population is growing, you're still going to need to meet the demand of the new people that are being birthed or maybe travelling to the city. Following that, I believe that is building resources, and that's kind of interesting, but I guess a city of this magnitude, we no longer need to have the numbers for just wood and steel like we did in the first game. Now the next one does have me and a lot of other people stumped. I've heard some good ideas that, it could quite possibly be a luxury item. I've had one person tell me that it looks like a wine jug or a wine vase, or possibly even water. Because even though there's snow everywhere, water would still be a bit of a problem for people to manage. Anyway, moving past that, I believe the next symbol is coal. Looks quite similar to the coal symbol from the first game. And then we have 4 different symbols again. One of them, to me, looks like it could be steam power. I don't think steam cores are still going to be a thing in the game, or if they are, we haven't been given an idea from that. But moving on, we've got my idea for steam power. And then I'm thinking the next one is oil barrels, followed by influence points, and then the final one, livestock, because to me that looks like a little reindeer symbol. And the next 4 I wanted to speak about going right beneath would be the 4 black symbols with the big black smudges underneath. Now I think the length of the black mark shows how big of a problem it is. And with oil, it naturally comes with that kind of manufacturing and refining is pollution. You can see a lot of smokestacks in the background. So maybe the smog could be an issue we have to deal with. The next one I believe is actually starving. If you've got people that aren't eating correctly, that's going to show up there. The third one, I have a pretty good idea that is going to be medical issues. The fourth one, I believe, is freezing. Wouldn't be Frostpunk if, we weren't trying to keep people warm. And I believe the last one is crime. I mean, it looks like a pair of handcuffs. That seems quite simple to realise. And that is where I'm going to leave this video off on. I've had quite a lot of fun breaking down this video. I've probably watched it a good 20 times. Some slow, some fast watches. I would really like to hear other people's ideas and discussions on what they think it could be, and just whether you're as excited to this game as I am.